Hi everybody. Today I'm going to try and put a damper in the stovepipe here. Last night it was about 9 degrees below freezing Celsius, which is approximately 15 degrees Fahrenheit, maybe a little warmer than that, but not much. And for several hours I tried to warm it up in here, even get it up to about 60 degrees, and just wasn't doing it. So I thought, well, maybe my heat's just going out the chimney. This is an airtight style stove, but might not be quite as efficient as I had hoped. It's hard to say. I did, later on finally get it quite comfortable in here, but it took hours. So I'm going to try and put that in today and try and show you guys how I'm going to go about it. Okay. I've did the math for the circumference of the 6-inch pipe, and it looks like about 9 in just under 7/16 from one hole to the other. Over here I have the damper that I picked up at the local hardware store for like $10. I'm gonna mark a couple holes and drill them, and then we're gonna reassemble and light a fire. Now you can see in the pipe I put a line. I should have showed you that, I'm sorry. There's a line on both sides. I used this placemat. I just wrapped it around and made it even with the end of the pipe, so it gives me roughly a straight line. So I'm going to go ahead now and measure my 9 and just under 7/16 to make my 2 marks, and then I'll pop some holes. Okay, I've got my mark there, and just under 9 7/16 I have a mark there. So I'm going to drill a hole here and a hole there. I'll put the assembly through, and I think we'll be good to go. Okay folks, I have my one hole here and my other hole there. I've tried the part through it, so now I'm just going to try and get the damper through and get it locked up, and we'll reassemble it and see how it works. I just wanted to show, for those that don't know how this works, this piece threads through here like this, and then you turn it to get the bend down through like that, and turn it so the bend is at the bottom, and then it'll go through, and then you turn it again. I'm sorry, I'm not doing very well. Turn it again, and then you push it through and rotate this bend into this hole, and it locks it in place. Very simple, but effective. Okay, I've got the damper in place, and I'm holding the light and the camera at the same time. But if you rotate this way, wide open, this way, as closed as you're going to get. So it's just a restriction that you put in there, try and hold back some of the heat. You don't want to close it completely, because if you do that, then you will have more smoke inside than out. So anyways, I'll reassemble, and we'll light a fire, see how it works. See you then. Okay, in the last frame I showed you the damper in place, and some might say, well, it's a bit off center, and they would be correct. But I'd like to say I did that deliberately, but the pipe isn't perfectly round, and I prefer it to be like that, so it doesn't do a complete 360, because then you can set it up and it will okay, I'm going to light a fire, and we're going to see how it works. So it is quite cool here today. I don't know if you can read the thermometer or not. I don't know, I can't read it, but anyways, it's about 20 degrees Fahrenheit, a little less, or wait a minute, about 24 degrees Fahrenheit. So let's see what happens. Okay folks, I've got a bit of a fire going. It needs to get going a little better before we try the damper, but we're coming along. It's quite cool right now in here, so I'm a little bit anxious to see this get going a little better. Quicker than later, so, or sooner than later, so we'll be back. Okay folks, it's been around 20 minutes and we went from around 24 degrees to 72 degrees in here. Fans turning a little bit on the stove, the damper's working spectacular. I think that with these minor improvements along the way, it's a work in progress. I think we finally got to the point where when we get to the extreme cold, this should keep us warm. So anyway, we'll talk to you real soon.